Oh no, what is that?
Oh shit.
What the yo? If you told me when I first started this channel that not only would I be doing a Resident Evil video, reload, Leon, reload! It's on the ceiling! But that I'd spiral into a full-blown addiction, I would have laughed at you. But here we are. I grabbed Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 pack for $13, then Resident Evil 7 Gold for $10, and then Village Gold for $15, and at that point I was too far gone. And just when I thought it was over, the RE4 remake hit me for 20 bucks. I clearly have no sense of self-control. Send help. Anyway, I'm Mateo Vert, your favorite backlog gamer, and this is the beginning of my Resident Evil addiction. Freaking Wesker.
I'll go and check it out.
How about we don't? So I actually tried playing the first Resident Evil game, but there were complications. Get it off me, get it off me, get it off me, get it off me. Oh my God, get it off. Where do I go? I need some direction in life. Okay. You know what? Really fuck these dogs, man. On God. Yeah, I found the tank controls kind of frustrating to deal with, so I was thinking maybe this game wasn't just for me. A friend of mine suggests I play the 2 remake as it's more modern while keeping some of that RE charm.
No one's around.
Well, that can't be good. I already had it sitting in my backlog from when it was the free PS Plus game, so I was like, what the hell? Now, I already know I'm going to be receiving hate. Well, you only want it because of the good graphics. Well, first off, yeah, I like good graphics. I think most gamers agree with that. Second, I have videos on older games and I thoroughly enjoyed them. By the time this video goes up, I'm most likely streaming my first playthrough of the original Resident Evil 4 before I then hop into the remake. Anyway, shameless plug out of the way, let's get into my real first impressions. Around the time I escaped the police station as Leon, I realized something.
I have seen the face of God.
Yeah, I was hooked. Resident Evil is a marathon, not a sprint. Ammo and resource management are the bread and butter of survival. Coming from games where I could just mow down endless zombie hordes, I struggled at first. I'd run out of bullets and get frustrated when I couldn't stop zombies from trying to eat my ass. Pause. But once I changed my mindset, it finally clicked. Soon enough, I was pulling off S-rank runs almost smoothly. No heals in the dream, chat. Let's go. Overall, Resident Evil 2 Remake left a strong impression on me. The satisfying gameplay loop, the interesting lead characters, and a story that dragged me down a rabbit hole all came together to make me realize I was officially in deep. Speaking of which, so here's the setup. You're thrown into the middle of Raccoon City during a zombie outbreak. On one side, you've got Leon, the GOAT, Kennedy, rookie cop on his first day on the job. On the other, you have Claire Redfield, college student just looking for her brother Chris. Both of them stumble into the worst timeline imaginable. Hordes of zombies, a city collapsing, and a shady corporation pulling the strings behind it all. Why do I feel like the only thing that's missing in 2025 is like the T virus or the B virus or whatever it is in this game? The story pacing in Resident Evil 2 Remake honestly surprised me, since the movies were so terrible. It's not just shoot zombies and move on. The game balances exploration, puzzle solving, and encounters with some of the series' most iconic enemies. Yep, there he is. Bro, he just ate the acid. Oh no. Mr. X was a pure menace to society. Nothing killed the vibe faster than hearing those heavy footsteps right behind you as you're trying just to solve a puzzle. Gonna be cutting it pretty close. Oh, this guy. I also liked how the narrative split between Leon and Claire gave 2 perspectives on the same disaster. Leon's story leans into the rookie cop trying to be a hero angle, while Claire's journey is more personal and empathetic as she's looking after Sherry. Together they make the outbreak feel bigger, more layered, and more personal than I expected going in. And of course, this is Resident Evil, so the Umbrella Corporation is at the center of everything. Evil pharmaceutical companies, bioweapons experiments, and a city thrown into chaos just to cover up their mistakes. It's the kind of over-the-top science gone wrong story that shouldn't work, but somehow it fits perfectly with the tension of the gameplay. By the time the credits rolled, it didn't just feel like I played a zombie horror game. It felt like I lived through one of gaming's most legendary survival horror experiences, and I finally understood why people are so obsessed with Resident Evil, besides 8-foot giant goth ladies. Now let's talk about the real meat of Resident Evil 2 Remake, the gameplay. Since this was my very first Resident Evil game, I can't compare it directly to the original. However, the Vert research team was able to understand why fans rave about the changes. The 1998 version had tank controls and fixed camera angles, which made movement and combat feel way more rigid. The remake modernizes everything with an over-the-shoulder camera and smooth third-person controls, giving newcomers like me a way in without losing that sense of tension.
Gotta take the long way out.
What immediately stood out was how resource management defines the entire experience. At first, I made the rookie mistake of trying to kill every zombie I saw, thinking that was the right way to play. I found out real quick that it wasn't. It just drained my ammo and left me frustrated. Every bullet matters. Headshots don't always guarantee a kill, which means you're constantly making choices. Do I waste precious ammo to clear this hallway, or just cripple a zombie and just sneak by? Once I learned that lesson, that constant push and pull between survival and aggression had me glued to the screen. The knife system was another lifesaver, literally. Instead of being a last resort pea shooter, knives act as defensive tools. Getting grabbed doesn't mean instant damage if you got one equipped. You could stab it into a zombie to escape. It's a small detail, but it gave me much needed breathing room during these tense moments. And then there's Mr. X. The game drops him into RPD where he just keeps coming for my booty even though I keep saying no. His footsteps alone are enough to spike your heart rate, and the fact that he could stalk you while you're solving puzzles makes every safe room feel like a luxury. It completely changed how I explored because suddenly lingering in one place too long was not an option. Overall, the gameplay in the remake hooked me in ways I wasn't expecting. It's tense, it's unforgiving, but it's also insanely rewarding once you adapt to its rules. As a first Resident Evil experience, it made me realize why this franchise has such a legendary reputation, and why I immediately wanted to play the rest of them. The Resident Evil 2 Remake hooked me in. I'm ready to go back to Resident Evil 1 and give it another go, after I beat the original Resident Evil 4 that is. This game turned me from a curious outsider into a full-blown fan. Once I started to respect the flow, the rest came easy. I do look forward to covering the main titles, so let me know, what is your favorite Resident Evil game? I look forward to your answers. Next week, we keep the horror theme going with Callisto Protocol, and boy, do I have a lot to say. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a president's daughter to go save.
And roundhouse kick. All right.
Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a like and sub if you feel like I earned it. What are some ways I can improve these videos? Come on, you guys can tell me. Feel free to come kick it in the Discord or over on Twitch where we're doing some major trophy hunting. And until next time, it's Mateo Vert, your favorite backlog gamer, and you guys stay safe.